A mother's plea that launched a movement, and today her dream becomes a reality. It was all set into motion last year after an exclusive 11 Alive interview with Catherine Leach, the mother of one of the 29 victims killed in the infamous Atlanta child murders case, directly asked the city for a memorial. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, who says she was moved to honor the children after our reporting, unveiled one of 2 memorials for the lives lost at City Hall today. Artists were asked to draw or paint one of the victims in the Atlanta child murders case. From those, they chose one artist to depict the portraits of the 29 victims at the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in May. Dwayne Mitchell was the chosen artist for the project.
I think it's something that's long overdue. I was a part of this, of that dark time. I remember going to school, and I remember hearing about these kids missing. I remember the curfew, that we had. So I think it's something that's definitely long overdue.
The city will also have the portraits on a gallery on its website. If you want to see them here, you can until February 6th.